Hello and welcome everyone! We're finally getting to the topic of my wedding, which I'm so excited to talk about. I have a feeling that I'm going to be breaking this topic up into like smaller videos, like one with decor, blah 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 blah, you know, all that stuff. So today we're talking about clothes, but before we get into it, I would love to give a shout out to our sponsor today, which is Dossier. I have worked at Dossier in the past and I really love their perfumes. They're high quality, they last all day, and they're for an affordable price, so you really can't beat that, especially if you're just getting into perfumes and you're trying to figure out what you want. I feel like Dossier is a great way to kind of dip your toes in, so to speak, and figure out certain scents that you're drawn to. I know when I was starting out, I really had no idea what my preferences were. I normally had just worn like an essential oil of patchouli, so I knew that I loved like patchouli and earthy scents, but other than that, I was totally just going into it without a clue. And with Dossier, they're affordable enough to where you can get full-size bottles and really wear it for a while and see how it sits on your body and what kind of a reaction you have from it or get from it. I have an amber honey perfume from Dossier. I wear it all the time and I get so many compliments on it, as well as having their own unique scents. They replicate high-end and designer scents as well. So if you have something that you know you like, there's a good chance that Dossier is going to have a replica of that. I have a couple new perfumes here and I have been loving them. I've been trying them out and just wearing them ever since I got them. I think I have a favorite. I also asked Andrew for his opinion and he agrees with me without even telling him that it was my favorite first. So I'm excited to share it with you. But the boxes look like this, and all their perfumes are sustainably made as well. So it comes like this. It comes with a little card. This one is from the Genderless collection. I tend to like unisex scents. And this is Fiery Leather and Rhubarb. I was reading the reviews of this and it is very polarizing. Either people love it or hate it. I do love it, but it does have a strong leather scent to it. But rhubarb is like one of my all-time favorite things for baking. I love a rhubarb pie or rhubarb upside down cake. So the combination of the two was a yes from me. The top notes are rhubarb, nutmeg, and melon, and the middle notes are geranium, rose, and saffron, and the base notes are vegan, black leather, and vetiver. I do love this one, but this is not my favorite. I'll save that one for last. Okay, this is probably my second favorite that I got too. I'm ending up showing them in order of the way that I'm liking them. That was third, this is second. This is from the Speakeasy collection. As soon as I saw that name, I was just intrigued. I don't know, the vibe of a speakeasy, smoky, alcohol, leathery, you know, that kind of vibe is usually the scents that I'm going for, not so much like meadow, floral, or sweet, sugary kind of thing. So this one is Bubbly, Spritz, and Bitters. Here she is. I also love that their caps are magnetic. It just stays on nicely if you're gonna throw it in your bag for traveling. This smells so nice because it still has that like heavier earthy scent about it, but the bitters is like making it citrusy and light in a way. The top notes are orange and bitter orange, mandarin, neroli. The middle notes are orange flower, laurel, juniper berry, cedar leaf, and then the base notes have like vanilla, benzoin, incense, and oak moss. I do really love this one. But my all-time favorite that I got from this three is also from the Speakeasy collection. Like I said, that name drew me in. And this one is Golden Rum and Amber. I'm actually wearing this one today and I feel like it might be my new favorite from Dossier along with the Amber Honey one. But the top notes of this are bitter almond, plum, cadewood. The middle notes are rum, clove, and cedarwood. And then the base notes, ambroxan vanilla, tolu balm, and candied fruits. It definitely has that like slight sweetness of the candied fruits, and I love that. It's definitely still very deep. This has got like layers. It smells like the visual of going down the rabbit hole in Alice in Wonderland, I feel like, and then landing in the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So if you can get what that smells like, that's this. And I love it. I'm going to be wearing that a lot. So thank you so much to Dossier for sponsoring this video. Thank you for supporting the sponsors. It really helps out the channel. And you can look for the link down below if you want to hop on Dossier's site and check out some new perfumes. It's a great gift for the holidays. There's something for everybody and it's affordable, high quality perfume. Okay, now let's get back to the topic today, which is wedding. So for those of you who don't know, Andrew and I got engaged in 2019. We had a lot of wedding plans made up. I don't remember how much I talked about on here. I know I wanted to keep most of it pretty on the DL, but we ended up changing a lot of the plans anyways because we wanted to wait, of course, until it was safe for everybody to get together. So we had a lot of change of plans. I think originally we were going to do it when it was colder, like autumn/winter. I'm not exactly sure if we had even picked a date yet. Now we ended up doing it August 26th is when we got married. It was absolutely perfect out. The weather was so nice. It was not too hot, not too cold. We ended up doing it at our house because we moved last year in 2022 and our house is like completely 180 from what we were in before. If you remember, you may have seen my house tour, but I think I did a pretty good job of showing the best parts of it and just doing the best of like the whole situation. We made the best of it. We loved it. It was an experience. It was a time, but it was not anywhere where you could hold a wedding, let alone much of a party. But somehow we still ended up doing that a couple times. But anyways, now we're in this amazing house, which I'm so grateful for. And it has a massive yard, honestly. So it was perfect for the wedding. That was one of our biggest hangups, is we were trying to figure out where to do it. My family's from Northwest Wisconsin, like up 5.5 hours from here, so pretty far up north. Andrew's family is from Illinois, so people were gonna have to travel and we just didn't know where to do it. But it ended up working for the best that we had to wait a couple years because we got to do it in our own yard, which was such a dream for me. My mom and dad got married in their backyard in their garden, and I always just thought that that was so like magical and dreamy, and I love that so much. I want to buy that house back someday and rebuild the garden because I drove past there last time I went home and they took out the garden. It was the old schoolhouse, if you know, like, I don't know, deep dev lore. I grew up in a schoolhouse, but anyways, I always thought it was cool. Now I got to get married in my backyard. It was a whole thing. It was great. We're talking about outfits today, but I felt like I had to give a little bit of a backstory for people who maybe don't know or people who are wondering like what happened. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, I feel like, but we're gonna talk about my outfit today, Andrew's outfit, and the little bit of a bridal party that we have. It's not even really a bridal party. We decided against it. Originally we were going to have one, but upon reflection, it just didn't seem like it was aligning with what we wanted for the day for us. We have a lot of people who we care about and love, and it was just like weird to have to choose between people. I didn't like the feeling, and it's a big commitment for those people too, like a lot of time and money people put in when they're in a bridal party. Also, it's a bunch of other planning that I would have to do and another big potential cost, and we were trying to just like keep it as minimal as possible on that front. I ended up having my little sister, who was like my flower girl and kind of like my maid of honor. She ended up stepping up and taking a lot of roles. She planned my bridal shower for me. It was like my right-hand woman on the day of and the days leading up to, so thank you to her so much. We'll talk about her outfit. I did a little something for my dad and my little brother who was the ring bearer, and he was also the usher. And then we'll talk about Andrew's outfit too, but first we'll talk about my little sister, Freya. For the longest time, I had no idea what she was gonna wear. It was like 2 weeks before the wedding and I was going to go look for something for her. I had a lot of different things in mind. I'll pop up some pictures of what I was originally thinking. I knew I wanted it to be very like fairy, soft colors, very like 60s reminiscent. I loved like the bubble hem and like A-line things that would shoot out a lot. I thought that that was a very cool silhouette, but it was very specific and I was just going to a couple of Chicago shops. I was not sure if I was gonna find anything like that. And I had looked on Etsy and online and I couldn't really find anything, and not anything in budget. Yeah, Birch knows. We had a budget and my dresses were only $50 and $25. So I didn't really want to be spending more money on other people's dresses than I spent on my own. So I had gone to an antique store just to look for like other little bips and bops for the wedding, whatever I found in there that would work. I ended up finding the ring pillow that we use, which is like a 70s ring pillow. I can probably pop up the short that I made here. I found this cool little hat, like fascinator. I guess I should tell you about like the theme of the wedding. So it was very like Mad Tea Party inspired, like very whimsical, colorful. I had asked the guests to dress up whimsically, and like they were going to a tea party. I can pop up like a little screen recording of the Pinterest board I made and sent to people. A lot of people abided by this. There were some family members who did not, but honestly I didn't expect them to. It's mostly for my friends, and they all showed up, so I told everybody just to go all out, and they really did. So I have like the best friends in the world, and a lot of my family did too, which was super duper cute. But at the antique store, I ended up finding this adorable little Easter bonnet, it was called. This is perfect for like a statement piece if I can't find a dress that's very unique. Definitely adds like the extra pizzazz that I was looking for. And it is so freaking cute. She looked adorable in it. And she was such a good sport and let me just do whatever. And instead of like tying it under the chin, I did a crisscross on her and tied it in the back. And it's so cute. Honestly, I want to wear it out sometime soon. Stormy periwinkle kind of velvet, and then these light pink feathers with the flowers. I love it so much. So I had found this, and I was looking then for a bubble kind of dress to match. And luckily, I didn't even have to go shopping for my sister's dress, because I came home the day before I was going to go shopping, and I had a package come in from a company that I was doing a sponsorship for, Retro Stage. And I got this one dress that I had asked for, but I didn't ever think when I was like picking it out on the website for the sponsorship that I would be using it for the wedding. But I pulled it out of the bag and I was like, this is something Freya could probably wear. And I sent it to her. She was freaking out. She loved it. I was freaking out because it matched perfectly with the hat and with the color scheme. I went and looked at it next to all the different like ribbons that we were using for decoration. To like check with the colors, and it looked so great. Let me go pull out the dress. Okay, but I put it away for winter time because I didn't think I was going to be wearing it, and I for some reason didn't think of this video, but you can see in photos it was so cute. I can probably pull up video from the other video that I did where they were the sponsor and pop it up, but it's like this 1960s inspired dress. It still kind of has the A-line that I wanted, even though it wasn't like a bubble hem and like super poofy. It still had that same kind of shape, and then the crisscross up the front went perfectly with the crisscross from the bonnet. So I thought that that was just like a cute addition. She ended up wearing like baby pink tights that matched the pink on the dress, and all the little 3D flowers, which I thought were so cool. And it had that like elevated piece to it with those that I needed, which was kind of what I was looking for with the super poofy hem. Just like something a little more dramatic, you know? And then she had these adorable little kitten heels that were in the same color as her tights, and she just looked so adorable. I ended up doing her hair and makeup, and I had no idea what I was going to do. Originally, if I didn't find a cool headpiece like that, I was going to do some cool kind of like braiding situation, but I ended up just putting 2 braids down, like pulling the hair back away from her face, and then putting some light blue ribbon on the end and curling it and fluffing it up. And then I did the same eyeshadow on her that I did for myself, which was like a mixture of these blues and this white shimmery color to make kind of like a light dusty baby blue. And then I used the same lip gloss on her as I did for myself, which was the NYX Fat Oil in the color Scrollin', which is kind of like a peachy nude. And I did a classic 60s like twiggy eyelash situation underneath, and she just looked totally gorgeous. We both were super sparkly because I had this glitter spray that I just sprayed all over us. I wanted us to like really shine whenever the light caught us. Then my little brother and dad wore just classic like dress attire, and my dad was wearing a maroon shirt. My little brother Max accidentally forgot his shirt, so he ended up wearing one of Andrew's, but I had made for both of them these super oversized floppy bow ties out of a velveteen ribbon. I saw a picture of like a Gucci runway, and they were just had these really big oversized velvet bow ties, and I loved it. I thought that it was a cool, simple way to add something so they didn't feel out of their comfort zone, because I didn't want them to feel like not them. It was like the perfect small little touch where it was more of a detail, but it really like added that whimsical boost. My mom ended up wearing this really pretty floral long dress, and then she had a little fascinator hat that she got to go along with the tea party theme, and I thought that she just looked so precious in it. Then Andrew's outfit, we mostly just picked out things that he already had. Like he wore his boots that he wears all the time. They have like this giant buckle. I got him off the Real maybe like 3 or 2 years ago. He wore gray Wrangler pants, which are like mostly the pants that he wears. Not the specifically gray ones, but the style of Wrangler where they're like a polyester 70s style pants and black belt. And then we did get him a new top, which is this like 70s ruffly front. Again, I wanted like a little extra pizzazz, but I didn't want anything too outrageous where it wasn't Andrew. And he loved this like soft ruffle. It was very cool. I always pictured like a little bit of the ruffle sticking out from the blazer that he was wearing, and this worked perfectly. And the nicest touch about this top, which we got from Etsy, was that the stitching along the ruffles had a blue thread on it. So it kind of like tied in again the little blue details, which you'll see in my outfit and that were also in the decorations. And then on top, we got this 70s blazer for him. He wanted something like what Paul was wearing during that video of him playing piano and singing Let It Be. It's like this burgundy or like maroon velvet blazer. And we found one that looks so great. We snatched it up immediately, and then matching my dad and my brother, I also made Andrew a really large floppy bow, but his wasn't black velvet. His was like a blue velvet that I also used in my headpiece, which you will see. And with his, I also added some like pearl beads, which again was in my headpiece, so just kind of like tying our outfits together in different ways. And I gave him this little butterfly brooch, which I wore and was given to me for my bridal shower by my mom and sister. So just a little cute detail. I think he looked really great. We had all these different fans for guests to take, and he ended up taking one and walking down the aisle with it, and it's this red fan. I'll grab it and show it to you. This is the fan that he ended up taking and walking down the aisle with. It was really funny. We were both just sitting down there fanning ourselves. Here's the shirt Andrew wore with the little blue bits around the ruffles. Classic 70s gray collar, little ruffles around the cuffs. And then here was his jacket. There's still some sparkles from hugging me and whatever. But I think the jacket looks so great. I love this color. And this is something that he could wear over and over again. There's that little butterfly brooch as well. I think it's cute. And then the bow tie I made for him, I didn't know like what their neck sizes were, and I didn't want them to have to tie the bow themselves. I wasn't seeing Andrew before the wedding, so I couldn't help him and make sure that it like looked how I wanted it to. So I came up with this style so that they could just tie it on themselves and then tuck the ends under their collar. And then it looked like a bow tie, but it was like sewn like this so it can't be moved around, you know? This was the bow tie essentially with the pearl strands and everything. But my mom made these really gorgeous boutonnieres. The straw flower on this one's a little crushed, but she grew all of the flowers that we used in the wedding, and the straw flowers included. They were so cute and so beautiful. And then this is just like turkey feathers that someone had given to her, small town Wisconsin things, but I have a bag of turkey feathers now, love that. I hope that I can find one of the boutonnieres because she also made those. Okay, and now we're getting to the wedding dresses. So I knew that I wanted some kind of a vintage dress because I wanted something very unique and not like a traditional modern wedding dress like in any sense. Yeah, I was really in love with the 1920s drop waist style dresses. It's just so hit or miss, like out in the wild, to find a vintage wedding dress that is like the dress. And my mom and my sister really wanted to be a part of the shopping experience. I really wanted them to be a part of the shopping experience before I was going to have one made, but I decided to kind of look around for a little bit and check it out. And I knew I wanted them to be a part of it, so they were coming down. I think it was maybe in April we started working on the wedding, like for real. We decided a date and everything, and they came down from Wisconsin, were staying with me, and we were going to go and just like look around at some places. And I had this idea to stop in to someone who lives in my town, who I had met when we first moved here last year in the summer of 2022. Andrew and I had been driving past her house, and it's this huge Victorian gorgeous home. She had a bunch of different like things out in the yard, tables set up, clothing racks. I was very curious what was happening. She said that she was having a yard sale and she collects antiques and specifically antique dresses, and she just doesn't know what to do with them anymore. She wants them to go into good hands, and her kids don't really care about this stuff, so she is just like looking to get it into a home. I ended up buying like 2 dresses from her then. She had a lot of 1920s and early 1900s pieces. I got this one dress that I ended up wearing to my bachelorette party, which was a 1920s dress, and I think is just so gorgeous. I'll have to show that as well. I had remembered this woman, and I thought, what are the chances that, you know, she would just like let us come over sometime and check out what she has. My family was in town for the weekend, so I went over there, knocked on the door. She answered and knew who I was and invited me in right away. I told her that I was looking for a wedding dress, and she told me to grab my mom and sister and to like come up right now and that she'd pull out all the dresses. She ended up pulling out way more than I had originally seen at the sale. Andrew? What? Oh, you are in here. And I think I pulled out like 30 different dresses to try on, and she brought me and my family upstairs, me and my mom and sister, and then she had this beautiful room that was like decorated all frilly and girly and with different antiques. It was just like a gorgeous experience. Let us try on everything up there, and that is how I ended up getting my dress for the ceremony and for the reception. The ceremony dress was $50 and the dress for the reception was $25. So it was like crazy steals, and it was exactly what I had wanted and what I didn't even know that I wanted, because like I said, I had been thinking that I wanted like a 1920s dress for the ceremony. But as I was trying on dresses, there was this one dress from the 50s. I tried it on. I thought, when else am I going to get to wear a gigantic white poofy dress than at my wedding? So I ended up getting this dress, which I'm about to show you. I absolutely loved it. It had a lot of work that needed to be done. Like, there were microscopic holes in the top waist part. It's so delicate that I don't even hang it on a hanger. I just have it like laying down. There was holes up in the top mesh that I had to fix and had to make like little appliques of like bows and flowers and whatnot to cover up these rips, because it has like an illusion kind of neckline. Everything was worth it because it looked so gorgeous, and I still got my drop waist 1920s dream dress. And it was really fun to have an outfit change. It just felt like something that I needed to do, since normally I have an outfit change sometime in the day. So let me go get the ceremony dress. Okay, I have her here, but I also found one of the corsages. It's very delicate at this point. because we partied hard, but they're so pretty and I love the use of the feathers. Okay, so here is my wedding gown. It has all of these buttons up the back. Here's the top. Here's the illusion neckline. But how gorgeous is the detail? Like all these tiny little pearls. So beautiful. And then it has this gorgeous waistline, which I think is so, so pretty. It has these little pieces on the side, which I think are super duper cool. I added this like gigantic bow. I feel like it needed some dev additions. And then the long pearls, which were on Andrew's bow tie as well. But this is on either side. And this detail just really killed me. I felt like it was a 1950s cake, along with the lace, like that together was so cool on either side. And then there's a big one in the back. So there's two little slits on either side, and then one gigantic one. Another bow on the back. And then all of the buttons, which I think are just so, so pretty. So along with that dress underneath, I was wearing my Gucci tights, which were something that I had originally gotten for the wedding in 2019. So I still got to wear these, which was great. The kind of off-white goes perfect with the off-white of the cream on the dress. I had to have like under layers because the dress needed a little bit of structure. So I was wearing this bustier that I got for free from a costume drive. I wear it a lot just as like a top because I think it's so cute. Along with 3 skirts layered up. I had this antique hoop skirt, and then I had a longer petticoat kind of fluffy tulle situation, and then I had a tiny little tutu to give like more volume around the waist. Jeffrey Campbell sent me shoes for the ceremony and for the reception. My ceremony shoes were my something blue, along with lots of blue ribbon, but the sequins were so cool. This added like a little bit more of the whimsical tea party element. And they were the perfect height so the bottom of my dress wasn't dragging across the ground so much. I love the gigantic flower, and the heel on these is so gorgeous. They're totally like fairy shoes. I love these so, so much. And I love open-toed shoes with tights. So these combined with the Gucci tights I thought looked really, really cool. I too had a fan like Andrew, and this was mine. Super pretty, just a white little something, you know. I had this antique hanky from my mom, which is so pretty with the embroidered flowers on it. I wore these vintage gloves that have this little ruching right here, and on top of each little ruched area that goes down the front of your arm, I put these little bows. I did 1 layer of a lace and then 1 long dangly one like this, so 2 on each hand. I was mixing a lot of creams and whites in different like shades of white, so I made sure to do that in as many places as I could so that it looked normal and intentional. For my hair, I ended up just curling it kind of like I normally do with like a really small barrel curler. And we got this super duper long veil last minute that's just on this little comb. It's like a cathedral length, and it was perfect because I didn't know what I was doing for my ceremony veil. I knew what I was doing for the reception one. I actually made that. But this my mom found, and the edges are finished and everything, so it was really nice, and I didn't feel like it was going to get ripped super easily if I stepped on it because it's just so long. But I wore this and just kind of like stuck it in, as you'll see in photos. And then I placed this crown on top, which this crown we got from the woman who we got the dresses from. She also came to the wedding. And this, she said, is from the 1920s, this little beaded flower crown. But I put all of the ribbons on it because I felt like I just needed more of like the whimsical touch. And this is the same ribbon that I made Andrew's bow tie out of, so we tied together really nicely. And then I put little bells because I liked the idea of just kind of like jingling along. So like I said, with my makeup, I kind of did the same thing as I did for my sister, which was mixing blue and white kind of shimmery shade on my eyes. I glued some false eyelash clusters to the bottom, kind of like in like a Shelley Duvall fashion. and then added just some little pearls. I didn't really have a lot of time to do my makeup, and I didn't want to be doing it up until the very last second. We also had to take photos, so I was kind of running short on time anyways, but I really liked what I pulled together, and I feel like it was very elegant and wasn't too like distracting from the rest of everything that was going on. And then for lips, I also did the same NYX Fat Oil. Doused myself down with sparkles, and that was my bridal look besides my gigantic arm bouquet, which my mom also did. She also grew the flowers for. It was just like this beautiful piece, and we had amaranth, which is one of my favorite flowers, and I just think it's so gorgeous the way it like drips down. It's so heavy and the color is so rich, and the flower itself is just so unique looking. Loved having that in my bouquet, and I thought it looked gorgeous. What do you think, Birchie? It was so cool because I got ready here in my bedroom and in my bathroom, and then people were coming by, and I could see where the wedding was going to be from my windows, so I was just kind of like sitting in the window watching people file in after I was all finished getting ready. That is my ceremony look. I don't think that I'm forgetting anything. I mean, I had super long fake press-on nails that I got online. They were super cute. I don't think I got any pictures of them, but they were so long. They had like these big butterfly 3D pieces that came out, and little glitter swirls and roses and everything that were like lifted outside of the nail, and it was just like a really cool piece. But you couldn't see them with my gloves on. They're more for the reception anyways. Now we can get on to the reception outfit then, which I was so excited about. So let's start with the unders. We went and changed right after taking photos with like the family after the ceremony, before we did dinner and everything. So we scurried off inside and did the quickest change of our lives. Andrew had to help me get the dress unbuttoned. You saw all those buttons. It was gonna take a while, but we ate 2 cherries, we drank champagne, and we laughed and had fun because we were just married and we were so excited. So this is the outfit that I ended up changing into. Andrew kept his outfit the same, and I'm just now finding something that I left in these tights from the wedding night because clearly I haven't worn them since. But starting with the tights, they're this kind of like lacy pattern on them, and they're just plain white. They're really pretty. I like the kind of texture that they gave. Just above my knees, I wore this little, it was ribbon at one point, but I made kind of like garters out of them, but I thought that they looked really cute. I ended up doing this for my bachelorette party too. I thought that it just kind of added like a fun little detail. So I had this on either leg right above my knee, with the tights underneath them. And then my dress was pretty much see-through, and I hadn't really thought about this until like 2 days before the wedding, but I had to think of what I was going to do to fix that really quickly. So I ended up wearing this slip skirt that I had underneath, and I have it ruched on the sides from this one knee-high show that I wore it to, and I just wanted it to be shorter, and I thought it still looked cute, so I just kept it like that. And then I wore this bra that I got thrifting, and it was honestly perfect. It covered everything that it needed to cover. Nobody could tell that it was a bra that they were seeing or anything. And then my dress was this beautiful 1920s gown, which is so unbelievably gorgeous. Like all the details. Right when I saw it, I knew that this was something that I needed. Around the sleeves, it's very fairy-like. I love this. This is like Greek goddess-esque. And then I like how this layer has little like fake buttons that go up the front. And then it has these tattered ribbons on the side that you tie into a bow. And I think it just looks so pretty. Like the details in the skirt and the layering is unbelievable. This front top layer, it comes down in a point in the front, and there's one in the back. And then there's these side panels that are heavier because they have the same trim that is around the waist here. So it's great for movement because these move a little more dramatically than the rest with that bottom weight. And then under there is this layer, which has a bottom extended layer, and then that's the whole dress. So it looks really great when dancing. It was perfect for the dance. And I feel like the photos from Andrew and I's first dance really show the movement that this dress is capable of very well. So I'm gonna pop some of those up. Oh my gosh, look at Whiskey. Whiskey, what are you doing? For the shoes, like I said, Jeffrey Campbell sent me shoes for the ceremony and reception. So, oh my gosh, Whiskey's got the boutonniere. And she's attacking it. She took your boutonniere out and was attacking it. That's why she was in the thing. She came up and was whipping it around. She's a killer. But Jeffrey Campbell sent me these amazing shoes, my dream shoes basically. I love a big buckle like this and I have been wanting some. I really wanted shoes with a big buckle like this last fall. And I got them now. I got to wear them for the wedding for the first time. They're so great. Andrew's shoes, like I was mentioning, his boots have a buckle kind of similar to this. So the two of them together looked really good in photos, I feel like too. And look at that shine. They're so cute. I wear them a lot now that I have them. So they're perfect. And they were perfect for dancing too. They were not uncomfortable and I felt very sturdy. And that was something that I was trying to keep in mind when I was picking out shoes, because the ones for the ceremony, I did not want to be moving around in too much. That little heel, I don't have that good of balance, so these were perfect. Okay, and then my veil, like I said, 20s was kind of the vibe that I was going for, and I love these vintage 1920s Juliet veils. I was seeing them in so many photos. I have a photo of my great grandmother on her wedding. I was just getting all this different 20s inspo, but I could not find one of these to buy anywhere. They were super duper expensive online too, and again, I didn't want to spend more money than I had on the dresses. So I thought, why not try to make it? I usually can make things myself, and if it doesn't go well, then, you know, plan B is buying it. But it ended up being perfect. People were asking for a tutorial on this. I honestly don't even know how I did it. It was extremely labor intensive and emotionally intensive as well, but it just turned out so perfectly. It came down to the bottom of the dress and I made the hem kind of pointed like this. It was really hard to try and get it even, and I was kind of scared about trying to do a straight thing. So I decided pointed was gonna be easier. I don't know why I thought that was gonna be easier, but it still looks super duper cool. So it has one long layer and then one shorter layer, which also has the pointed. But then I gathered it here in the back at the sides and then used on the top this vintage lace piece that I had that was pretty long, like maybe this long here to here. Maybe a little bit longer, like this big. But anyways, I brought it down and then I kind of wrapped it into these little rose shapes and sewed that onto either side, put some pearls in the center, and then added these long strips of ribbon and pearls for a little extra, you know, something. And to add some color into this outfit, since mostly it's just like the beige and whites. And with all these different ribbons and lace and then the white tulle, it was another way to kind of add in the different shades of white, like I said, that we were trying to do, because you saw that dress was pretty discolored from age and then the tights were white, so just mixing as many of those together made it look very intentional, and I think gave it a lot of depth to the outfit. This ended up being perfect for the top here because it has that kind of same zigzaggy up and down pattern that I did with the bottom, and I thought it'd be really cool if I added some jump rings and then little pearl pieces to have them dangling down. It was just like a very nice little detail, felt very right. Some of them have some like sparkly ones you can see here, and then some of them have pearls. And then behind each flower is a little bell to keep that going, like there was some on my crown for the ceremony. So this was perfect. It fit really, really well, and it was exactly like what I was dreaming of and couldn't find to buy anywhere online. And the more simple things like this that were, you know, similar were so expensive and they were not as detailed and as me as this one ended up being. So I was very pleased with it. I was unsure about how it was going to turn out because I know making veils is extremely hard and I've never tried it before. My mom gave me some patterns. She's made veils before for her friend's wedding. I could not follow a pattern for my life. I opened it up and was immediately turned off from it. So closed it and just went away, just trying to make it happen. And for the best. Okay, then really quick, lastly, I'll just show what I wore for my bridal shower. I wore this hat. I toyed with the idea of getting a gigantic white hat and then putting a veil over it for the ceremony, but I wanted to wear that crown in some way as well. So I went with the sun hat look for the bridal shower, which was outside in my hometown. And I wore this hat and I put this veil on top of it, which I had gotten like years ago. And I just kind of like shoved the comb behind this flower. I came out with the veil over my face and I think it looked really pretty. And then I also got this dress when I got my wedding dresses because I think it was also like $25. It's this 1930s floor length gown that is a little more fitted. It's really beautiful. It has these long ribbons here that tie in the back and then this adorable little cover up, which I think is just so pretty. And then for my bachelorette party, which Alice, my bandmate and friend, threw for me, she bought me this crown to wear, which is like an adorable little star headpiece. So I pinned that in. I had a sash, which I also had a sash for my bridal shower. I wore some like thigh-high white stockings and then those little ribbons, which you saw that I wore as well over my tights. And then this dress, which was one of the dresses I originally got last summer from the woman that I got my wedding dresses from, and that's how I knew about her and her amazing collection. It goes and covers just over my knees, and I think it's so pretty with all this little detailing and the pearls. And then the bottom has this beautiful lace, like a scalloped hem with the top layer, and then it's got this slip layer that peeks out from the bottom. It has lace as well, and then the back has some pretty detailing like the front does, and I just thought it was so pretty. And then on the day of the wedding, to get ready, I wore this vintage nighty set, which it has like a white nighty. I'll prop up some pictures here, and then here is the robe that goes over it, which is really like the star. It has these poofy sleeves, this adorable bow, and then a beautiful little trim with lace along the bottom. So those are all the wedding outfits. All month of August before my wedding leading up to it, I wore white every day just to kind of like celebrate and get in the mood of things. But those are the important outfits. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you want to hear about next, like decorations or different things during the ceremony that we did, or food, or whatever you can think of. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much again to Dossier for sponsoring. Remember to check out the link down below if you're looking for some new scents for yourself or for some great gift ideas for other people for the holiday season. I hope that you all are having a fantastic day, whatever you're doing, and I'll catch you in the next one.